So the gist of my chats are to look at the historical context of anti-Semitism, so that we see the things happening in our generation in a broader picture of the things that came before, and that it's not a new song, it's an old song, and we don't participate in something that is against Israel because of contemporary ideals, but we approach this people group according to the Word of God. And so I'm going to shift. Well, there's a bunch of things to talk about, the Theodor Herzl and some of the Zionism aspects, but there's also, I think, more to talk about in terms of really who is Israel to God. But today's chat is about the times that we're in, and it's different because I really do want to just talk about history and not what's happening in our generation, because there's lots of people talking about that, but I can't help it, so I'm going to weigh in. So today is Tisha B'Av, and we've talked about that in another chat, and how it is the day of great mourning, and many things have happened on this date. One of the amazing, you could just look at, how could you say there is not a God when he has his timetable is right there in front of us in history. So Tisha B'Av is the year the first temple and the day the first temple and the second temple were destroyed on the exact same day. The Himmler's final solution came on this date. They were expelled from England on this date, and 100 or so years later from Spain on this date, and so on and so on. It's so numerous that you just stand back and go, there's nothing else. How could this all have happened on this date? So today is 2024, and it's Tisha B'Av, and it is the day of great mourning. So everyone, or the religious in Israel and in the United States, will fast today. No water, no food for 24 hours. I accidentally did that yesterday instead of today. It was so hard. I did not make it. So hard. Anyway, I want to talk about we're here on this day. There's been a lot of chatter that today Iran would respond to the attacks that Israel killed some Hamas and Hezbollah leaders. One of them was actually in Iran when he was killed, and that was in response to them killing children. The thing that I want to just point out, it's just a timeline, but it's so significant and so obvious, but also just let's remember together. So on July 23rd, which was a Tuesday of 2024, it was the Fast of Tammuz, and that is the fast that commemorates when the wall was breached, when the Romans breached the wall. And I believe significantly Netanyahu just chose to address Congress the day after the Fast of Tammuz. And what I read into that is that he's saying the walls have been breached. When October 7th happened, the walls were breached. And so that date is significant. It makes a point. And so here we are, the Fast of Tammuz on the 23rd. On the 24th, Netanyahu talks about the walls being breached in our generation. And then on the 26th, that evening, he arrives at Mar-a-Lago. That evening is the beginning of a Sabbath. It's Friday night, so he goes down and he talks with Trump in private. And then the next day, the 27th, which would be the Sabbath in Israel, a soccer field gets hit, and 12 children die, in a horrible, little children just playing soccer with their parents are murdered in cold blood. And that is during these 3 weeks. So from the Fast of Tammuz to Tisha B'Av is called the, I want to say the dire straits. I've heard people say that, but officially it's called the 3 weeks, or between the straits. So it's this time of mourning. It's a very serious time. And these epic things are happening, I don't think coincidentally. It's a domino. So Israel responds to them during the between the straits, and here we are on the day of mourning watching to see what or if Iran will choose this date to mount their response to the leadership that was killed on their soil.